Hey, it's the off night. Welcome. I'm doing my own intro tonight because I don't have any of my compatriots here. Hopefully, they'll be joining us during the show. Otherwise, it'll just be me. So, bring the music back up and we'll get ready to go. And that's it. All right, we're done with that. Okay. Let me go to my other stuff here. All right, I'm Mark Sweetman. I host the off night every Monday night. This is episode, it's up here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Episode 305 of the off night brand. We started this back in 2020 during the pandemic as a way for comics to get together. We called it the off night because when comics would get to, back in the day, I started doing comedy in the late 70s. Quit my day job in the early 80s. And I've spent 40, how many years is that? 77 to 90 to 226. I guess it's, holy shit, is it actually 48, 49 years? Something like that. Anyway. And back then, we'd get together at the comedy clubs. Believe it or not, kids, comedy clubs used to run 7 nights a week. Their off night was usually their open mic, and comics, whether they were working on new material or just wanted to hang out and see other comics. That's how we found out about gigs. I worked in Detroit, a little bit in Chicago, and then LA. And we would be out making the real money Tuesday through Sunday, sometimes Monday through Saturday. Anyway, and then the off night was when we'd hang out at the comedy clubs. Often wasn't a paid night, but it's where we found out about the paid nights. And so when we started the show back in 2020, we decided to call it the off night. Just sort of reminiscent. Not too many people hang out like that anymore. There is a huge open mic scene, unlike we did not have back in the 80s. That's for sure. Which was, in some ways, it's better now because there's more opportunities to get started. In some ways, it's not as good because open mics don't really pay. And I much preferred being paid. And a lot of us would use, really our one-nighters, Tuesday, Wednesday. Most of us had honed an act that was 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, an hour. You worked your way up to that. And but occasionally there was somebody that wanted to book you, even though you only had like 20 minutes, somebody that wanted to book you for 30 to 40 minutes. And you take the gig because you take the money. And that's when you would kind of try out your new material on crowds where it didn't really matter because you're only there for one night. You weren't really trying to build an audience. Often you weren't the headliner. They usually had a headliner that had a really strong 45 minutes. So anyway, so that's how we got the off night, and we do it here every Monday night on this YouTube channel. We started on Facebook, and then we found out we could monetize it. By monetize, that means every time you get a click or a view, they throw a penny at you on YouTube, which, a penny's not much, but it's a penny more than what Facebook gives you. And then we moved it over to YouTube. We lost the original host. I was sort of like the comedy consultant, and the guy that we had doing most of the hosting was Seth Russell, and he took off after the COVID scare was over with. He went back into radio, and I found other co-hosts to join me, and they've come and gone. And we've pretty much had the same 4 people for about the last 3 years. We lost our best host and our best guest getter, Sam Greenfield, an old time road comic, circuit comic from New York, but still made his money on the road. We lost him a year ago as he went to that comedy club in the sky. But we've still held on, and unfortunately, nobody can make it tonight. Susan, my wife, who started doing comedy started doing comedy when we met, but I mean, she started actually making an effort to write jokes and appear weekly about 5 years ago. And she is a very talented poet. And she every week writes a poem for us. Now, she's not here. In fact, I should probably bring up her thingy here. She's not here and hasn't been here for the last 6 weeks. She is in rehearsal Monday nights for a choir that is appearing this summer at Carnegie Hall in New York. So we're going to be in New York. I'll probably be contacting some of my friends in New York. And let me see, I've got her. Oh, here it is right here. This is her. Tickets go on sale today. As you can see there, the show is June 14th. The 8:30 show, because that's a Sunday. There's more than one show on Sunday. And she's not doing the early show. She's doing the 8:30 show. And it's not her show, just to be sure. I think they're working with the New England Orchestral Company or Society or something like that. And they're providing the choral portion of the show. And there it is right there. It's the www.carnegiehall.org/calendar/2026/6. That's the month. /14. That's the day. Well, that's it. The New England Symphonic Ensemble. That's whose show it is. And she's part of the choir that's going to back them up. Anyway, you can get tickets there at that site. And she wanted to make sure that we plug that. I'm going to keep this card around because she might join us later and we'll show it again. But that's that. And then she's also running in the Detroit Marathon in October. If you've seen her stand-up show, she does a lot of jokes about being a runner. And she's going to participate again for Team World Vision. When they run, they do it to raise money. So she'll be looking for sponsors. There's her sponsorship. That's her team sponsorship page. She might have her own. I don't know. I'll ask her when she's on again. But the thing about this sponsorship I do know is give beginning Friday morning at 9 a.m. That particular link, we have a millionaire or $1 million donation that they'll match up to $1 million. If you go to that link and you give to her team in her name, it'll be in her name, her team. I think she raised about $1,100 last time. And she doesn't run very often, but when she does, she likes to take the money and run. That's her joke. Thank you. I'll give it out there. Anyway, we'll get back to that when she gets back here. We'll talk about that again. And a couple of other things here. If you like our show, we're here every Monday night. Come on back. But we would really appreciate it if you click the like button, whether you're watching it on your laptop, your PC, or on your television. So many YouTubers have taken advantage of the fact that YouTube now has a smart TV app, Fire Stick, Roku. The Samsung smart TVs have a link to the YouTube page. It's just about all. The Xbox has the PlayStation. They all have a way for you to put YouTube up on your television, and that's how we do it here. So if you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube page, there it is. Oh, and then I did a special one for you. There's one. I can do it. on my screen they're saying something went wrong. Well, that's pretty difficult. That's how I got my. All right. Oh, there it is. Here you go. This is what I was trying to put on there. This is this particular address at the off night streams. If you put comments on that on the off night streams, I'm sure that's where you're watching it right now. I don't know. If you do that, you will be able to have your comments come up on the screen with us here, and we've answered comments before. If they're nice, don't do don't call us names or cast aspersions or anything. We're nice people. So that's that. If you'd like to join us on screen, now there's another one for that. That's this one right here. That's the StreamYard is the app we use. It's an in your browser app. So all you need to do is be able to get to a browser. If you got a camera and a microphone, go to that address right there, streamyard.com/YTMFQ6WYHZ. I know that's kind of difficult, but that's all we got. Here, I'll put it back up there for a few more minutes, a few more seconds. There we go. Join us there, and we will, if your camera shot looks good, and I could sound test you, we'll get you on the air here. That'll be fun. Okay, let me get to Susan's poem, because that's normally I have a co-host, Andy. He's my Ed McMahon. He gives us a rousing intro and then brings me on. And then we chat about what's going on with him. I was particularly interested in talking to him because he's helping a woman from Qatar bring her story to the U.S. in play form. He's helping her write her play. And I think a book, too. And I was really interested in talking to him, especially since Qatar is right in the middle of the Persian Gulf, and we all know what's happening in the Persian Gulf right now. So, but Andy's not here. Well, hopefully he joins us a little bit later. That'll sometimes happen. We'll start our show, and then a lot of our guests and hosts will join us later. If you do join us, I'm going to take you right back to that. There it is right there. If you join us, I will be able to see you before you go on screen, so I'll be able to hopefully chat with you. I won't be able to talk with you unless, I could, I guess. I'd like to do that off stage before we bring you on. So yeah, we'll keep it at that. Anyway, and then we would bring Susan on and she'd read her poem. But because Susan is now rehearsing for her Carnegie Hall show in June, let me bring that back up. And Susan practicing, here it is right here, practicing for her Carnegie Hall show. All right, so I'm gonna read her poem. Since now she comes back, we can ask her about it. But here's the poem, March 16th, poem for the off night by Susan Salisbury Sweetman. Strait of Hormuz is losing ships. Trump is upset, tweets angry quips. NATO says it's not our war. You didn't ask us, what you fighting for? And that was her quick little 4-line poem. Sometimes they're as long as a page or two, and sometimes we get a 4-line quip like that. Anyway, that's by Susan Salisbury Sweetman, our poetess, and hopefully she'll show up. Jason, who is also normally with us every Monday night, got tickets to a concert. He told me which concert it was. Let me see if I can find it here. He got tickets to a music concert. I presume it's one of his favorite bands, because why would he miss this, really? Let me see if I can find Jason's note. Jason, we like having Jason on. He's acerbic and sharp and a little unkempt, but it fits his image pretty well. And Andy and Jason and I are all coming about senior citizen and Social Security and Medicare, all that about the same time. Let me see. But Cowboy Junkies. He's gone to see the Cowboy Junkies. I don't know where they're playing, but he got tickets, and he is very happy to join them. I'm gonna. Oh, here's for you to subscribe if you'd like to subscribe to our show. Anyway, so if you'd like to join us, go ahead. I'm kind of hoping somebody calls in or comes in. It's not really a call. You link in. This is my kitchen, and the curtains up to make for the studio. Otherwise, you'd be looking out at my backyard. We do the show from Detroit and online, and about 7 or 8 shows a year we do from Los Angeles. I do have I have family out in California, and we visit often, especially now that I'm not really tied down to a job except in the summertime. And so last week's show was from Los Angeles, or my portion of it was anyway. Everybody else was online, and they can come from wherever. I mean, Sammy used to come from New York. We had people coming in from Florida. I've had a couple of guests from Texas. Wherever we can get people to call in from, they'll be here. And that's that. I wanted to mention I'm reading a comedian. Now, this is somebody, not my generation, came in a little after me, but he's still been in it long enough that he's probably considered one of the stalwarts. Very political comic, John Fugelsang, and he wrote a book called The Separation of Church and Hate. A book that, as he's been doing the talk show circuit, says he wrote because he was just really sickened and saddened by the people that were using his parents' religion, Christianity, as a weapon against the left. And it's a really good book. I'm reading it in a book club, and I'm thinking of introducing it to my Democratic club. And I'm going to see if I can get John to come on the show. He probably wants a wider audience. But, who knows? When book sales get back down to zero, maybe he'll join us, give him a little boost or something. Especially since, my book club is like 12 readers, so there's 12 sales he made. And if I bring it to my other groups that I do book clubs with, that could be more. So we'll see. What else is going on? I talk about my family once in a while, but not much because I don't have their permission to talk about them. But everybody seems to be well. A lot better than their automobiles. We're having a horrible automobile year. My children in Los Angeles, not as much of a problem because you wouldn't think of it, but Los Angeles is a pretty decent transit town. You wouldn't think so if you look at the freeways and all the people that are on the highway all the time and clogging up the freeways. But both my sons and my daughter-in-law, when she's had to, have been able to use public transit to make their way to work. I'm sure it makes their building more expensive because you can easily get to a train or a bus. And it probably means that the jobs in those areas are pretty competitive as far as competitive for labor. Now this is where I usually have people to bounce stuff off of. Let me see if I've gotten anything in my notes here. It's this is about the time my wife would be joining us, or Andy. Andy usually pops in, or it lets me know. Time to check my time to check my mail to see if Andy tried to get in touch with me. Probably should have done that before we went live. Let me see here. Who did I hear from recently? Somebody was... No, not seeing anything here. Yeah, I guess it's possible we could be doing our last episode, but yeah, I don't really see anything from Andy here. And I don't remember that he told me about any absences coming up. I know in the past, Andy has done a lot of road work for us. He'll go on the road and he'll take his phone or camera with him and gives us some very funny quips. And the other thing that's frustrating too is I'm not. This is funny too because I got trained to be a IT manager, and I ran computer networks for manufacturers at one time. And you don't do that for 13 years, and everybody forgets about you. So it's been a long time. 13. It's been 15 years now. Let me see here. Okay, let's look for Andy. Let's see if Andy sent me an email here. Now I typed some letters in there and nothing happened. And let me tell you, my progress. I probably would have been smashing the keyboard and throwing it out the window. I don't do that anymore. You have to wait for me and my computer because it's so slow. That's just fine with me. Throw yourself out the window. That's the way I see it. Nope. I wonder if Andy knows that it's Monday night. Sometimes, we had daylight savings time come up on us. Of course, we've had a show since daylight savings time, so that's not an excuse anymore, I guess. On the show, we talk about sports. I wish we did more. Since Sammy left us, we don't talk about sports as much. Movies, music, all from the eras bygone. We like to catch the free movies on YouTube, and we kind of exchange ideas on where we can see free movies if we don't want to pay a subscription. And sometimes I think I'd like to do a podcast and call it What's Grandpa Watching? Or what's Grandpa listening to? Or what's Grandpa reading? What's Grandpa doing? just that type of thing. Because I think that what interests me might interest a lot of other people. And again, it's my ineptitude with all this equipment that keeps me from going any further than just the idea of it. I think my kids could do it, but they don't have the patience. They're willing to go, good enough, upload it, type of thing. And I'm always trying to improve upon something. I have 8 kids. 6 are still at home. 5 are still at home, and 3 cars are down. So We have a used car lot in our front or at the side of our house. We're lucky to have a side that big, actually. I see nothing from Andy in the last month here, so it's interesting. Anyway, where are we? 25. So we're 25 minutes into the show. What else can I show you? No. See if I've got anything here. What's going on? I've been working on my kids' resumes. They've done their own, but I'm trying to enhance it a little bit and then giving them some interview tips, because you put something, you sort of embellish your resume. I said, oh, this is, you're going for this job, so let's take this experience that you had and fluff it up a little bit here, because I'm a writer. But then I have to tell them, all right, here's what you don't say when they bring that up from your resume. You don't say, oh, my dad wrote that. No. We need to come up with an answer for these possible questions you get during a job interview. Not my dad wrote that. That's failed interview. 2 of my kids just got jobs this year. That was kind of fun. And got a couple still in training, trade schools and colleges and things like that. I have a couple that need to step it up a little bit. So we had 8 kids, so that there's all, we had hopefully a 1 in 8 chance that one of them does well enough to give grandma and grandpa a little cottage on the back 40, something like that. But, we'll take whatever we can get, which is basically this amount of money we saved, which it turns out was more than I thought. I mean, I'm glad we were cheap and stingy, because, really, if we had lived the way our kids wanted us to live, and we didn't tell them we didn't have anything, so we couldn't have anything, we probably wouldn't be able to retire. We'd be like these people that you see I saw a guy in the news tonight, and he was, or maybe it was this morning. Anyway, he was delivering DoorDash packages. Guy's like 80 years old. Ugh. And so anyway, this lady that her ex-husband sent her daughter a Starbucks order, and she sees this guy on the camera, and he's barely making it up the 2 steps up to the porch to drop off this Starbucks order. And so she posts it, and she asks her neighbors, help me identify this guy. I want to help him out. So she posts that in the clip, and somebody identifies him, lets him know what his last name is. She looks him up. She meets him at a diner, and she gives him a $200 tip, right? $200. Well, as if that wasn't amazing enough, somebody had seen this and thought, well, he needs more than $200, so they started GoFundMe for him. He's got like $900,000 now. So, and that GoFundMe, I'm telling you, that there's so many people that are that do really well with that. I mean, it's nothing you can depend on. It's really a crapshoot. It's almost like a roll of the dice, and it's hard to make up a story that's going to attract that kind of attention without looking like you're making up a story to try to get that kind of attention. But those are the types of, they always end the newscast with that too. So as we're seeing people, shooting kids in schools, and we're bombing civilians all over the planet, and somebody's caught in an avalanche, or today we had, because of spring storms, we had a bunch of trees falling on houses and cars and all that stuff. Yeah, and the story with a puppy dog that's good friends with an old lady, or a kid who's um, helping old ladies across the street, and and those kind of stories make people feel happy. That's for sure. Oh, here we go. Here's my beautiful.
Hi.
Hi. So,
Just us?
well, it was me for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it was. I almost started doing my boat tour narration.
Okay. Did you do the poem?
I did the poem.
Okay, I thought just Jason couldn't make it. Andy too?
That's well, you know what? Andy never said anything. He usually lets me know if he can't make it, but I hope he's okay. I'm a little bit concerned. And now that you're back here, I've shown this a couple of times, but we're going to put it up here again. Here it is. I'm going to redo it now. The sponsor one. Okay, that's Carnegie.
Oh, yes. Tickets went on sale today. 8:30 p.m. show, June 14th. So if
I made
you'd like to see me sing in the background of other
of the New
really
England
incredible
of the New
performers.
England Symphonic Ensemble. Yeah, I
Yep.
made sure everybody knew that it was the 8:30 show too, because they have more than one show there on
Yep.
Sunday. So, and this one is a little bit more time. This is the one that's timed for Friday morning, right?
Yes, Friday, 9 a.m. If you want to
Eastern,
double your
East
money
9 a.m.
donation and sponsor me the Detroit Marathon is in October, and I am running to raise money for World Vision. And some of you know I've done the half marathon. In the past, I raised over $1,100 for charity, but you can double your money. They have corporate grant sponsorships to match donations. So if you donated, let's say $20, $40 would go, but only on Friday and only at
Only
9 a.m. until
only until
the
they run out.
money's all claimed.
Yeah, until they claim all the money.
The
Yep.
20th, March 20th.
Now, you people that watch us on the West Coast, that would be 6 a.m. So don't break your butt. But
Correct.
if for some reason God wakes you up at 6 in the morning,
Now, that's not to say you can still make a donation at noon. I don't know that there'll be, a flurry of donations and the million will be gone, but it would be a shame to, lose any of that. So hopefully there'll be
you know what?
$1 million of donations on Friday,
I'm
beginning
telling
at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Now I'm telling you too of what I did. I also put it on the YouTube page as a note in today's
Okay, well,
in
I see
today's.
it up there, October run, raising money for World Vision. You've got
Well,
it right there.
that's on the live. That's on the live
Okay,
video.
so if you have it on the
I'm talking
recording,
about if you're on you if you're watching this and you want to go back to it, you don't have to go back to 3358 of the show to find it.
okay.
I put it in the little liner notes underneath the video on the YouTube
All
page.
right.
So that's that. And let's see, we talked about your poem. That was a quick one, and it was just me talking, so there wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to write about the Oscars. Did you want to talk about the Oscars at all?
I watched it. Did you watch it?
I watched some of the rebroadcast stuff on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Um,
I want to see the opening, because that's
I
usually
think I saw the opening. Conan did a good job as far as
okay.
I saw. And I did see Hamnet, and I did
Oh,
see Everything Everywhere All at Once. We saw that in the theater.
we did see that in the theater, and it was
And it
I
was
thought it was
really, really
great,
good. Even though it was like
really
a
good.
3-hour film, I remember we came out of there going, that was really
That
good. And it didn't feel
didn't
like a three
feel like
hour
3 hour
film.
film.
It
You're
didn't
right. That's
drag at
exactly.
all. It was very well paced and an interesting story. And you can have the best effects and choreography and fight scenes and car races. If you don't have a good storyline, it is not going to be a great film, but this one was. It was a very interesting story and
Did you
a
see
good story, and it was very well told.
did you see the shot with Grogu and Kate Hudson?
I did not.
That was pretty cute. That was pretty cute.
Okay, I'll have to look for that
Yeah,
then.
I'll see if I can find it for you. That was and Kate
So
Hudson.
I just didn't have time to do a big poem, and we're at war. A month ago, gas cost $1 less. I was telling you about finding my receipt.
I was talking to the tow truck guy, which the audience that has been watching from the beginning knows I've been talking about car troubles. Not detail, just saying that you know we got a wide driveway with a bunch of cars, and half of them are out of.
Yeah, so you
But
waited
anyway,
for AAA.
so I'm
You
talking
don't
to
have to recap what you've already said.
I'm talking to I didn't talk about the tow truck guy, and I said something about the gas prices going up. He goes, I don't pay attention to that. I said, somebody else must be paying for your gas then.
Well, I used to work a job where we drove around greater Los Angeles for the company I worked for, which, by the way, I've been to the Oscars, if you count when I dragged AV equipment there, many hours before they started the show. But
You know,
yeah,
and
we carried a gas card in our vans, and so I'm sure that the truck drivers from where they're dispatched have something similar where they just go and fill up
yeah,
as they're out and about doing their duty.
I went by your old place off of Florence Avenue there in Inglewood, and I can't remember
Okay, well, they moved to
well, I know it's not that anymore, but that road I went because I remember it curved at the bottom, and you went up to Florence to get
yeah,
over to
in Inglewood.
in Inglewood. Yeah. Anyway, we went out. The reason is we left from where Michael works to get to the airport, and that's where the map sent us was through Inglewood. So
Okay.
that was the better part of the
Well,
trip.
off the 405.
Yeah. Anyway, and the new train goes by there too. I think it's
Did
the
you
Cape
talk
train.
about how bad the airport was?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was although the news stories I saw on CBS. Did you watch CBS News tonight?
I did, and they're saying, get there 4 hours
Or
before your gate time.
yeah, well, had I known, we would have gotten there 4 hours before. We made it with 4 minutes to spare. They were locking the door behind us as we were getting on. We got
Yeah,
very
well, that was like day one of the bad traffic and so forth. So consider yourself lucky that you got on the plane, and because now they're saying airlines no longer have to pay if you miss your flight because of TSA. The airlines are not responsible for that. So they'll charge you to rebook your flight.
yeah. You know why? Because it comes out of the rich people's money, and Trump likes the rich people, so he doesn't want them to get screwed. He wants the little people to get screwed.
So a lot of TSA agents are quitting because they need to pay the
Make a
rent
living.
and feed
Yeah,
their
they need to
families. And,
exactly.
gosh, kids like to eat sometimes even 3 meals a day.
Oh, those kids. I'm telling you.
So yeah, so
I
Trump's a
did get no,
liar.
I did. Now I did get a message from Jason said that he might join us if he gets a break, and he's at a rock concert, so
Oh, very
he,
cool.
he went to see Cowboy Junkies. I didn't even look up where
So
they're playing.
here's a question right out of the Stephen Colbert's question. What's
Okay.
your very first concert?
My very first concert was, I think it was Bob Seger and the warm. It was at the Flint IMA,
Okay.
which
How
I
old were
don't think
you?
is around anymore, but I bet it's still a nice theater if it is.
How old were you when you went to see Bob
Oh, you know what? You froze up on me here. Let me see if I can.
I can hear you, but
No,
you're a
you're
little
still.
twangy. I asked how old were you when you went
All
to
right.
see Bob Seger? I can see me. I guess it's your connection. How old were you? I don't know sign language. Well, I will tell our audience in case they can hear me that my first concert, I want to say 12, maybe 13, went to see the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter and her brother at Pine Knob. And Mark just cut out. You're cutting in and out, Mark.
Yeah, you are too. I just had a message pop up on the screen that says, "Get closer to the Wi-Fi router."
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I can.
Okay, so you saw Bob Seger when you were what, a teenager?
I would have been like 16. Yeah,
Okay.
16.
I
It
was
was,
12 or 13 when I saw the Carpenters at Pine Knob.
ooh,
But
cool.
then I realized that's actually not the very first concert I went to. It would have been, actually, I would have been, I think, 10 in about fifth grade when I saw the Detroit Symphony Orchestra down at Orchestra Hall. I actually won 2 tickets from my band director that was teaching me to play the flute.
Cool.
I could read music, so I answered. I won 2 tickets, and my daddy took me to Orchestra Hall to see the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. So I don't know if that counts as a first concert, but I was hooked.
Well, that was my first concert. It was between my sophomore and junior year. But then I went to so many after that.
Oh, I saw a lot of concerts, especially at Pine Knob. For
Well,
those,
I lived near Pine Knob. We used to go when we couldn't sneak in. It was only $5 to get a lawn seat.
yeah,
So
$5 for a lawn seat. Yep, yep. My favorite concert, and I'll tell you what, Elton John came close. I would say he's my second favorite concert, but my very favorite concert was the Beach Boys
I
at
saw them.
Pine Knob,
Yeah, I
and
saw them.
I think I was either still in high school, maybe I was freshman in college. I'm not sure, but I saw the Beach Boys at Pine Knob, and it was so much fun. Just everybody up on the lawn dancing and singing along, and they were great.
One of the Beach Boys just retired. He's not gonna tour anymore. They're going on the Beach Men, I guess now the Beach Grandpas. So.
And for our 3 viewers, Mark has performed at Pine Knob on stage. He was the warm-up for the Monkees. And
Well,
aren't
that was
they back on tour again?
no, just Mickey Dolenz. He's the only one left.
He's the only one left, but
But he's touring. Yeah, Bruce Johnston retired. He was the.
But he will still join them for special events. Chris Crone will be taking his place.
I can hear her. Your little
Yeah,
AI
he's being
companion
replaced.
there.
He's being replaced by the guy who plays him in the tribute band. That's pretty cool.
Who's that?
Bruce Johnston. He's
Oh, the Beach Boys. Yeah.
yeah.
And he wrote I Write the Songs.
Is that the guy who wrote that one?
Yeah, Johnston wrote that. But Barry Manilow has written a lot of music, but the song he's so well known for, he didn't write. That's a Beach Boy song. I
Yeah, how
write
about
the songs that make the young girls cry. Beach Boys.
He penned many
This
Beach Boy
trivia
songs,
has
including
been brought to you by
oh, yeah, you're right. He wrote Barry Manilow's "I Write the Songs."
He did.
He left the Beach Boys in 1972 and worked with Barry Manilow, and then returned to the Beach Boys in 1978 and remained with them until his final show in January.
Okay.
Chris Crone, who leads the Beach Boys tribute act, is scheduled to take his place.
I saw an
And
interview with Dolly Parton, speaking of people retiring, and she's been giving interviews, she has pulled out of some of her residencies in, I don't know, Nashville or Vegas or somewhere. Um, but uh, but she seems to be doing very well. I think she was probably grieving because she lost her husband last year.
Hmm.
Hasn't even been a year, I don't think. And uh, I really, really have a lot of admiration for Dolly Parton. And I am not a huge fan of country music, but there's just something about her and her songs that are so good. But I've never been to a Dolly Parton concert. So if any of our viewers have seen Dolly Parton live, please put your comments. Hopefully you had a wonderful time.
Yeah, is it what's on our bucket list that we need to see still? I wanted to see Paul McCartney. I heard he's going to do another tour, a limited.
Well, yes, but I do have to say, we saw Elton John down at Little Caesars Arena in 2018, and it was such a good concert. And
Is it
then he
that
does
long
a
ago?
really
Wow.
great job of introducing everybody in his band. And uh, if you've never been to Little Caesars, the arena is huge, and he um, is getting up there, but he still managed to traverse the stage and face everybody throughout the show, and just a very gracious man. And of course, his music is so good, and it was really, really wonderful. My only uh takeaway that of the thing I didn't like is how loud it is inside, but I had my headphones with me, my little earbuds, and they were the perfect damper for the loudness that
I think
almost ruined the concert for me.
I think the thing I liked most about the Elton John show was we had the mezzanine tickets in the first row, and um, he his back to us when he was playing, but every time he finished a song, he would turn around and turn to us and bow. So I felt like we were getting a
Yes, well,
we were
that's what I
getting
mean.
we
He did
were
face
getting
us at part of the
we
show.
we were getting a private
He
show,
faced every direction throughout the whole show.
right?
And actually, I recall we couldn't get seats together, but you were able to get seats um,
Back to
next
back.
to each other, one in front and one behind
Yeah, yeah.
of
You were
the
in the
same
you
seat.
you were in the first row on the aisle, and I was in the second row on the aisle. That was actually pretty convenient because when we stood
But
up, we got to stand up in the aisle because people were trying to get by us. Who could blame us for getting in the way? We had to get up. People were trying to get by.
anyhow, if you get to catch Elton John on his farewell tour, which I think would have ended sooner, but for the pandemic, he's
Right.
continued.
He continued it. You know, he was. I wanted to see Billy Joel too, but he stopped performing because he's taken
He,
ill.
yeah,
He's not as healthy,
he
but
is.
he was he was doing a show at Madison Square Garden once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on what his other touring schedule was. And whenever he went, that was a big deal because it was like, he was all his equipment stayed there. He had storage for it right at Madison Square Garden, so they could whip up a show at any time.
I think there's a rumor that Paul McCartney and Ringo are gonna perform together.
No, they do. It's just not announced.
No, it's not announced.
I
But
think
I'll tell you what, if you like that carpool karaoke that what's his name did.
James Corden,
Yes, James Corden, that episode on carpool karaoke that he did with Paul McCartney,
where they played the
it
pub,
magical.
that was so
Like will give you goosebumps. Like,
it that was good.
wow. That is, if you watch nothing else on YouTube, watch that.
Yeah, it was good. Um, who else was on my bucket list? Oh, I want to see Gladys Knight.
Any
She's still
films? Well, it's
she's
Oscars yesterday. Any films you want to see?
yeah. Let me go over the let me look and see what the
There's
nominees.
something with Ryan Gosling coming out, I believe, this weekend. or it may have been last weekend. But
This year's Best Picture nominees. All right, let me see what we got here.
and you can catch Hamnet on one of the streaming services. That's where I saw it. I want to say Peacock.
Oh,
I
you saw
could
the
be
film?
wrong.
You saw the film? Okay. I want to see
Hamnet's
that.
on there, and it's
Oh, I
very
want to see.
good.
All right, I haven't seen Sinners. I think I'd like to
Haven't
see
seen
that.
Sinners. I only saw those two that were nominated.
Hamnet and one crash after another, or whatever it was.
There's some film coming out in May we talked about going to see, but I can't remember what it is now. So I guess I don't want to see it that bad.
Well, we saw 3 films last year. We saw One Battle After Another, which won the Oscar. We saw Sung Sung Blue,
Song Sung Blue, also very good.
and we saw the
On a streaming service. We
Fantastic
did
was
see it in the
Fantastic
theater.
Four. Did we see Fantastic Four last year? I thought that
We
was like,
did, and the Mandalorian is very good in that. Although he plays a different character. But yeah, that was very formulaic and typical of the comic book. Now, if
Begonia.
you do like the comic books and the graphic novels, Netflix has season 2 of One Piece.
I would
Very
not.
good.
I
And
would not.
I was surprised and delighted to see Katie Seagal appear in One Piece. It's a series on Netflix.
All right, Begonia. I don't know anything about it, but just the clips they showed with the actress. Can't think of her name now. She's in a gazillion things. She's a huge name. Anyway, Begonia. Those look good. F1. I hear it's good. There was nothing about it that really impressed me from the clips. Did we see Frankenstein? Or did I see
We
that
have
with somebody
not
else?
seen Frankenstein.
I saw that with you. I saw that with Michael. That was good.
Okay.
And that got nominated, so you'll have to. It's on one
I'll
of the
catch it
services.
when it's streaming then, probably.
I want to see
But
Hamlet. I want
if
to
our
see Mark
viewers don't know,
Sweetman.
Mark and I like to also go and see older films, sometimes many decades old. They show near us in the Detroit area at the Old Redford Theater. They often have most every weekend, Friday nights and Saturdays, sometimes a Sunday show or a Sunday matinee. A lot of old films. So we'll have to check out what's showing at the Redford.
Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Train Dreams. Those are the rest of them that were nominated.
There was a special tribute at the Oscars for Meathead.
That was, you know what was
Rob
great about
Reiner.
that? And yeah, that whole there were 3, rather than just show the film and play the orchestra over it. There were 3 that they pulled out and did live, and they had Billy Crystal did for the Reiners. Can't remember who the actress. Another actress did it for Diane Keaton, and Barbara
Streisand sang for
did
Robert
it
Redford.
for Robert Redford, and she sang. I thought, oh my, she hasn't sung in years. I mean, she stopped singing. It's hard to keep that voice to the level that she wants to sing at, but she's still. I was very happy she sang. I mean, it's not the voice she had 40 years ago, but still, it was just nice to hear her do that for Robert Redford.
She invited, I don't know if you remember, Colbert interviewed her and she said she would sing a duet with him. So now that he's not going to be
She's got
working and free in June, maybe he'll record a duet with Barbara Streisand.
That'd be great.
He's got a good voice.
He does have a good voice, and he's just and he knows how to read music, and he's just he's very talented.
Well, we're coming close to the last 5 minutes of your show, Mark.
I hope Colbert's show is gearing up towards that last episode or the last week or something, because it could be spectacular. Maybe leading a march to the White House would be kind of cool.
We went and saw Stephen Colbert live in November 2022. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
November 2022. It was, I think, 70 degrees out. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. Well, I guess Jason and Andy aren't going to make it. Let me see how much time they got left here. Oh yeah, they got 4 minutes to make it before we close this down. It was nice to have you here. Thanks for coming by.
You're welcome. Thank you for promoting my June show at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do it again.
I am
there
not
it
the
is.
star.
No, the New England Symphonic Ensemble. You're singing with the New England Symphonic Ensemble. So
yes.
Now,
So we're sort of like the Pips.
How long is the program? Is it going to be an hour, 2 hours? So what do you
I
know?
believe it's a couple hours, yes.
Oh, good.
So,
Will you guys get to sit? That's what I'm thinking 2 hours. I'm thinking, where do I pee? I gotta pee.
no. I think I can stand for 2 hours.
It'll be fun. Oh, by the way, my hope to wait for airfares to go down before I bought the air, and that backfired on me.
Yeah, that's backfiring.
You know what I was thinking?
Oh, wow.
I was thinking of doing. Maybe we have some New York viewers that could give me some hints. But I was thinking of like driving the car and then parking at Liberty Airport in New Jersey. I hate flying out of there, but probably parking there isn't that bad. Park there and then take the train over to Manhattan.
Yeah, maybe.
The air train.
So if any of our viewers have great tips on getting to and from New York in June, middle of June, let us know. We usually could get very cheap tickets. We went last year in June.
Yeah, $55 tickets. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we were expecting something like that. We have points, so we are getting a good deal on our hotel room. So that's booked. We just have to get there.
Well, we're doing our hotel room in points, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so where are we now? We got 2 minutes left, so I guess I can start this.
So we don't have to take it right up to the end, but it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed the short little poem that Mark read, I hope, earlier. And it's not much of an off night if you're just off by yourself. So I guess I'll leave and you can joke off by yourself.
It's the old joke off joke. Thank you, everybody. It's the joke off joke. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I'm gonna go back.
We probably lost a viewer now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. doing cheap beat off jokes.
Hey, if you want to catch me doing stand up,
that's right.
Catch me in Canton, Michigan this Friday
at the Brewworks. Susan will be at the Brewworks at 8:00 in Canton.
Yes.
Go check her out there. All these things you're promoting for you. We got singing at Carnegie Hall. We got running in the marathon. We got you appearing at the comedy stage. Hey, the first thing though is Friday night and Canton. Yeah, come and see us in Canton. I'll be there Tuesday. So come on by and say hi. And I think we're going to wrap this up here. So stay with us, Susan. We're just going to wrap this up. And we'll see everybody next week at 8:00 Eastern Time, 5:00 Pacific Time. That's Greenwich Mean Time -5. So,
bye, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. All 3 or 4 of you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Tell your friends.